I want to take a really big, huge step back and take a look at the very, very big picture of the cryptocurrency markets and what is really going on. Right here, you're looking at the US debt clock. I've shown you this before on another video, but this right here should be very concerning to everyone. 21 trillion. Just a few years ago, I remember this being 14 trillion, and that's not many years either. But this right here is what you get when your politicians print money and put your country into and spend money that we don't have and put us all in debt that we cannot pay off. This is the result right here. But it's not just the United States that's doing this. If you look at a list of all of these countries by as a percentage of their GDP, what their debt is right here in 2018, look how indebted Japan is alone, 239%. Greece, Lebanon, go all the way down to Cyprus, because I'm fixing to talk about them. They're in less debt than the United States is as a percentage of GDP. The United States is right here, but Japan's in a horrible situation, and Greece is in a terrible situation too. Now, here's what I want to talk to you about. You may or may not remember back during the financial crisis in the United States, Hank Paulson was the Treasury Secretary. He was up at Capitol Hill, literally on his knees, begging Congress to give him the bailout deal, where they would, I think it was something like $700 billion, and they turned around and they gave all that money to the same banks who had destroyed the economy, and nobody ever went to jail. It was a complete sham. And they told us this was for our own good, but it was really for their own good. And it didn't save us for anything, because what it gave us in the end is this. And this is not going anywhere. So don't forget that in this conversation. But this right here, this bailout, when they bailed those people out, you talking about opening Pandora's box. Once that was done, it was an unwritten rule, and it to this day is an unwritten rule, and will continue to be one, that whenever there's an emergency, as long as they declared an emergency, they can print our money into oblivion. They can do a bailout. But what they did after this, once everybody saw how dangerous they thought this was, where he had to literally beg them to pass something in Congress, they moved on and said, hey, well, here's a better idea. This actually happened in Cyprus in 2013, in March of 2013. They were trying to bail themselves out because they have gotten themselves into a terrible amount of debt as well. They were having debt problems. It wasn't working for them, so they decided, hey, we'll do what's called a bail-in. Well, a bail-in is even more shady than a bailout. A bail-in, which they actually did, what they do is they close your banks, and then on March 25th in 2013, they came to a deal that it says the depositors with over 100, I guess that, I don't know if that's pounds or what, but either lose 40% of their money at the Bank of Cyprus or lose 60%. I'm not sure what that is, but imagine your bank shutting down and having 40% of your money taken. Okay, let me show you, and this is why I'm doing this video. Let me show you what happened to Bitcoin when this happened, this bailout in Cyprus. Computer's going slow here. Okay. This is what happened to Bitcoin. This right here is the end, right when this was announced in Cyprus. And look where Bitcoin went from about 100 up to 220. Now, we had a crash after that based on other news having nothing to do with that. It was like Mt. Gox had an outage or something, and that was like one of the only major exchanges. But the point is that this happened, this run-up happened because people realized that if they had cryptocurrencies, the government could not get their hands on their money. This is what the world is going to realize. This is one of the many reasons that cryptocurrencies will be huge. XRP being the best cryptocurrency will lead the way. I always tell you that because it's a fact. I am not an investment advisor, so this is for entertainment purposes. Y'all subscribe and give me as many likes as possible. Thank you.